Welcome to the Daily Exchange. We're here with William talking about LivenPay. Bitcoin price is flying up and down and down and up. Bitcoin Cash as well. We're going to go all throughout exactly what's going on with the forks. And we'll see you guys right after this. All right, guys, we had a major, we're going to talk about the market right now, also, but just before I do that, welcome our guest, William Wong, the man himself from LivenPay. Welcome to Daily Exchange, William.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
Yeah. Let's talk about the market for a little bit. I know you're a bit of a cryptocurrency trader yourself, and very familiar. We had a massive drop yesterday, about 25 billion in only a couple of hours. Bitcoin price went from what we were about, like 6,300 to we're trading around now around 5,569. We touched 5,199. That was pretty on the spicy side. Very much a sharp downturn. It was a new 12-month low, according to CoinDesk. That's a bit of a we were in a sort of descending wedge, can you say?
Yeah,
we're like, something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And this time we went down. Still, obviously, all the top 10 coins taking a bit of a dive. Bitcoin Cash, and we'll get to that in a second. But you can see here, Stellar Lumen seemed to be the least punished for some reason. I'm not sure why. What was sort of?
I think it could be because of the kick and some of the apps announcing deserting Ethereum for Stellar.
Yeah,
I think
that could be a factor, definitely. But an absolute real brutal day. Why did the market crash? That's really the question. I guess we had a whole series of things. Binance went offline for about 8 hours. That's kind of weird. That could have, obviously. Basically, what happened was, when it goes back online, all the different orders could have executed all at once, and they could have really spiraled things, potentially. Craig Wright, who obviously has been really vocal right now around Bitcoin Cash, he tweeted a very threatening tweet. I'm not sure if you want to bring this up, to basically tank the Bitcoin price. To all Bitcoin miners, if you switch to mine BCH, we may need to fund this BTC, with BTC. If we do, we sell for USD, and well, we think BTC market has no room. It tanks. Think about it. We will sell a lot. Consider that and have a nice day. BTC to 1,000 does not faze me. Wow.
Big call.
That's a big call.
Yeah.
And I think people got a bit scared, right? He's got this new BCH SV. He's been on live chats and live broadcasts all night. This has been absolutely incredible. The other thing, I guess some people, so we've got a couple of people right now calling even further lows. I'm just going to call it as it is, but it's a fact, right? Omar Godbol, CoinDesk analyst, saying that the RSI, or the Relative Strength Index, is kind of an index, I'm not exactly sure exactly how it works mathematically, but it's kind of the strength of the market and how strong it is saying that potentially, because it's so low, it's at a 4-year low, that the idea of a upwards rally is unlikely. He's earmarked 5,000 as the next level to watch for. And it marks, I guess, a psychological real support line. I guess that's those real whole numbers to some extent. On the flip side of Bitcoin, you can close the day above June support of 5,780. Then bearish pressure may ease off.
That's good. Yeah,
it is good. All right, we've got a bit of a historical chart here as well. Joel, if you want to bring that up. If we go back in time, we go way back in time, we are kind of, about October last year. That's the kind of price we are at. Kind of, it's interesting. We went like really sideways and now kind of dipped back down. I can't see any reason why we can't dip down further. I hate to say it.
Yeah, it could. It could.
It's speculative as. If you go back, to April of 2013, when Bitcoin was about $135, we saw, obviously, the price today is much higher than it was before, about 4,000% up, or whatever it may be. I still think Bitcoin's in a strong place relatively from the big rise it's had. Where do you sort of feel the market's at sentiment-wise, Will?
I mean, obviously, sentiment is pretty bad, but I think it's just the reflection of the overall cold long winter, crypto winter. But also, I think there's a lot of influence from the institutions, the big players, speculators. So I think this downturn, the bearish trend, will continue. Personally, I don't want it to go any lower than what it is now, but it could possibly. But yeah, overall sentiment is bad. I think that's why there's a lot of room for technical analysis. There's no real fundamentals supporting that. And I think we'll talk about that a bit later on as more and more projects start to actually bring on some fundamentals around it. And the traders and the people start to actually analyze at a fundamental level, then the things will shift. Right now, it's all TA. Everything's about TA, RSI.
Do you think it's all speculation right now?
I would say speculation plus manipulation. Lots of manipulations. Because obviously, the regulation around the cryptocurrency is not as strong and as strict as or as mature as the equity market and other financial markets. So there's a lot of leeway, a lot of rooms. I think if you have been trading in the crypto space for a while, you will know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
100%. I guess, zooming back, the price today is still much higher than it was in the first 3 quarters of 2017. The market cap is massively bigger as well for all the cryptocurrencies as well.
Yeah.
So if taking a bit of a zoom out, it doesn't look too bad. Now let's talk about Bitcoin Cash for a second, because this has been pretty wild. It's been massive speculation, but massive amounts of movements going on in the market. So let's just go through the fundamentals of what's been going on. So we had a high just before the fork of about $600, and now we're around. Well, this is really hard to tell. It's actually what is the price of Bitcoin Cash. We've got some markets saying $383. We've got some markets saying $391. We've got some saying $401. Some saying $438. Some saying Coinbase Pro saying $415. And some have even listed that ABC is the winner. For example, Bitfinex has got $250 for Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, so this is getting a little bit on the confusing side. So let's just take through. So some exchanges as well have frozen Bitcoin Cash as well, the trading and the withdrawals as well. So just to give you an idea. Now, what's been going on? We've got two camps. We've got Bitcoin Cash SV, Satoshi Vision, the Satoshi Vision, I like that. And that is made up of Craig Wright's N-Chain and big mining pools called Going Geek and SV Pool, Satoshi Vision Pool. It's kind of cool. And they're fighting against ABC, Bitcoin Cash ABC, BCH ABC. So we've got SV ABC. And in ABC's team is Roger Ver and Jihan Wu, who has Bitmain. So we've got Roger Ver, Jihan Wu versus Craig Wright and some other pool miners. And they're fighting it out. So how do you wage a hash war? Okay, so let's just go through a few key steps here. Three things. One, you commit your own mining resources to support your version of the fork. So you can so Craig's going with SV, Jihan's going ABC, right? So they've both got their miners spun up and they're fighting it out. Then they're going to convince the mining public to commit their resources to support one of the chains. So do you support SV or do you support ABC? And the public needs to choose, and then they'll move their hashing power. And then you can rent power from marketplaces as well. So hash power you can rent. That's where I guess Craig's been saying I'm going to dump Bitcoin, buy some hash and power, and get this war started. And it's currently in flux right now. Like we are currently in the war. It is only just started. To give you an idea, we've got. Bitcoin ABC seems to be well and truly winning in terms of the number of blocks, which is quite interesting. Bitcoin.com in particular, which is part of Roger Ver, they seem to have committed quite a few blocks to the blockchain, but and they're ahead. ABC is currently ahead of SV, so that's the current state of the market, which is kind of interesting. We've also got, where else have we got here? So this is just an idea. The hash rate on SV is 35% of the Bitcoin Cash, and ABC is 65%, whereas the nodes, there's way more nodes in ABC than there are in SV, which is again is quite interesting.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is intense. So ABC, this is the hash rate, and SV is down here. So we've got quite a significant difference there. You can see the Bitcoin Cash miners are leaving and they're going potentially to ABC. That's a pretty divergent graph, right?
I guess they're banking that Bitmain being the one of the largest in this space.
You're going to win.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And it's Chinese backed, by the way.
Yep. Well, that's really interesting. You've got, well, what have we got? You've got Bitcoin.com, CoinGeek. It looks like they've switched over. Oh, no, they haven't. No, they're on the same, that's on the right team. But it's so incredible that these computers and that there's a war going on between them. I just find it so incredible. I guess it's the pricing as well on Poloniex is an interesting thing to look at because they're listing the different coins and potentially it could give a indication of who is going to win. So we'll have a quick look at the prices. So we've got ABC at $305 and SV at $86. So $391. It's just Bitcoin Cash's price just keeps going down. It's just decimating its own coin. It's incredible, unbelievable. So potentially, but there is some speculation, but apparently that Bitcoin SV is reserving some hashing power to mount an attack of some sort. It's all happening. It's all happening. It's been happening overnight, and
it's real.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really real. It's probably the most real I've ever seen in terms of how long this could go. Because they must be renting, spending serious money mining their own chains. For what reason? And then eventually, what if that coin dies? Isn't that going to crush them in terms of pricing?
I think they just want market share. It's yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. William, welcome, I guess. Yeah, we're just going to give you a bit of background here on LivenPay. Liven is a company you set up in June 2014, and it's recently undergone, I guess, a crypto revamp. So it's an existing business. That's why I'm fascinated by this, your business. It's integrated the Liven coin cryptocurrency, which is incredible. And you've been obviously in traditional markets before for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And you started Liven in 2014. It's got 350,000 users. It's got 1,000 restaurants, cafes, and bars on board. And you already had, I guess, a native currency, which was Liven Cash.
Yeah, yeah.
But now you've changed that to being an actual cryptocurrency, which is Liven Coin. Incredible, incredible. So it's kind of like, you've supercharged people to using the token, using the coin.
Yeah, yeah. It's also introducing something new to the unknowns, the muggles, as we call it, the mainstream. Yeah.
The muggles, you call them the muggles?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard this term saying, like, Bitcoin enthusiasts, cryptocurrency nerds, calling the normal people the muggles.
The muggles. That's good. I love that. That's a new one for me. LVN is the code. We've got a little video here just as an introduction on how Liven works. Joel, if you want to spin the...
Hi, I'm Sam from Liven. As a foodie, one of my favourite things to do is to eat out and discover new restaurants. I'm going to show you how to use the Liven app so all of you foodies out there can titillate your taste buds more often.
Liven is a rewards-based mobile payment network. Users can discover restaurants, pay their bill, and earn our LVN cryptocurrency every time they dine. This is how it works. Download the Liven app from Google Play on Android or the App Store on iOS. Take the tour. Create a profile with Facebook, Google, or email. Add card details to make your first purchase. Discover restaurants on the app using search functions, categories, or restaurants nearby. Tap Pay Now to pay for your bill at the venue with a credit card, stored LVN, or both. The venue will receive the payment request and they will enter the bill amount. The payment is processed and you will receive up to 30% of the total bill right back into your Liven wallet as LVN. Rate your experience at the venue. Choose to donate your LVN, save, send to friends, or spend at any merchant in the network. Start earning today.
So as we saw William there with the app, you spend at a restaurant, you get up to 30% reward in Liven token.
Yeah.
And this is already existing. You had this business already operating. Tell us, how did you make that transition from Liven Cash to a cryptocurrency? How did you make that?
The transition was very natural, very seamless. There's no, because what we realized, and this is actually other people telling us, that William, you guys have been building the best MVP for the last 3 years, which is perfect for the actual crypto project. So we were like, yeah, we'll take that. And the thing is, we were always focusing on the user side. And we had this, I mean, 3 years ago, when we started this, we always wanted to have this utility rewards currency. Obviously, there was the blockchain around there, but it wasn't mature enough for us to actually deploy it in the real mainstream. So we were just watching, see where it was going. And last year, when we launched our own non-crypto-based digital currency called Liven Cash, we saw the early traction, and that gave us the confidence. Actually, you know what? We're going to double down on this. This is a new way of expanding or improving the company's size, and do this. So we traveled to US. We spoke to a few people at the conferences, and they just said, look, I think your business is perfect model to tokenize your rewards currency. Your currency, you already have an ecosystem, you already have a business model, which is essentially tokenomics. You need have a few economists, and scientists to look into this and tokenize that. So we looked at it and was like, yeah, makes sense, and that's how it all started. The transition started last November, December and we started working on it from January. And I mean, unlike new projects where you can just do nothing and then turn it on, we had ongoing businesses. So it took us a while to transition to them, one by one. The educating the users, moving them across this, three-stage phase. People are using it every day, and you don't want to introduce them suddenly. Hey, you're now earning cryptocurrency. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! What is this thing about cryptocurrency? So it's all about how do we position ourselves in terms of marketing, communications, to ease them into it. And we've got two sides: users and the merchants. So easing both of them into this funnel, and then introducing to this new wonderful world of crypto, has taken us. But the result has been amazing. The adoption, a lot of people are very, very receptive, and that's a big point.
So why would so how does it work for merchants? So as a restaurant, I'm giving sort of, I guess, 15% or I get a 10 to 30% of the bill back to the customer.
Yes.
What's in it for the merchant?
So you can look at this in, let's abstract away the cryptocurrency component first, and let's look into the actual business, right? So the restaurants and businesses are always looking for new customers. They're always looking to retain their loyal customers and get them to spend more money at the venue. That's it. That's the number one goal. And you provide that service to them, they'll use it. So our proposition, our value prop to them is that, hey, you can either do discount, which is the Groupon style. You can either do cashback. So they've got all these models floating out there. There are a lot of similar businesses. But the problem with that sort of model is that people become disloyal. If you offer someone discount, you are attracting the type of users that are only chasing the bargain hunters, the bottom of the barrel, always looking for discount, no loyalty whatsoever to that brand. So what we're seeing is that as we are moving towards this more convenience-driven wave, people are less sensitive about the price, but more sensitive about the convenience. How fast the app works, how easy is it to pay, how much of a good experience am I getting when I go to the restaurants? It doesn't matter how much discount you get. If you get a shit experience at some venue, you'll never go back, right? So our value prop is that we are going to create one of the most intelligent loyalty platform where you don't have to spend all the engineering effort to create your own loyalty system, like punch cards or whatever. They're building their own apps. Don't do that. We got economies of scale. We have created this massive ecosystem where all you need to do is pay per success. So the restaurants typically have margin to play because someone sitting on the empty seat, inside dining at a restaurant is better than empty seat. So depending on time of the day, when they want to attract more customers, they're using our platform to incentivize the users to bring more customers in and therefore make more money. So that's the baseline, right? So the restaurants go like, yeah, makes sense. And obviously we have no listing fees, or you don't pay ongoing fees. You only pay for success. When we bring new customer, that's when you pay for that. Right. The best part about this is that restaurants can be assured that whatever they're paying, that's actually going back to the customer to incentivize you to come back. Right?
And then, okay, so when someone pays with through your app, so they pay $100 for, but they use their card to pay the. At first, I guess they use their card to pay the merchant. Yeah. Do you charge the merchant a merchant fee as well? Like, is there other fees involved, or does that all get wrapped into the percentage that gets?
It all gets wrapped into that.
Right.
Yeah. All in one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when someone say I pay $100 and I get 15%. Back, so I get $15 in Liven tokens.
In Liven tokens, yeah.
It's in my wallet.
Yep.
And then I want to go and buy a coffee for $4 or something like that.
Yep.
And I want to choose to use Liven tokens.
Yes.
How does that money get back to the actual? So from that cryptocurrency, how does it get translated back to the merchant?
Sure. So remember the first one, you already paid $100, and the restaurant now has $85, and $15 is kept an escrow. When you decide to use $4 worth of LVN token to buy coffee, the $4 worth of fiat then goes to that restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys sort of exchange it back internally.
Correct. Yeah. So we're basically facilitating this large ecosystem of loyalty currencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got, there was sort of, I'm not sure if Joel, if you want to bring this up as well. We've got sort of 4 main features of the Liven. So we've got Discover, Pay, Earn, and Wallet. Do you want to talk us through the 4 different elements here?
Yeah, sure. So let's go back to, I think we're on the Pay screen, I think. Let's go to Discover. Joel, can we just go back to Discover?
I think we're gonna. This is a static image, unfortunately.
Oh, it is static image. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So Discover. So when you open the app, you will see at least a bunch of restaurants and locations, venues, and you will go there, open the relevant merchant's profile, like that, and you tap Pay Now. Mm-hmm. You could
click down here.
Yep. And you could also toggle to use LVN token instead of your other credit card payment method. And then you will earn, if you click on the earn section, yep, this is how many LVN you're getting for that particular purchase.
Gotcha.
And then that token that you just earned mined sits in your wallet.
Awesome.
And that's it. Yeah.
And then when I've selected, so I've got this $15. I guess I'm trying to figure out how does Liven make money? Like if 85 goes to the store and 15 goes back into Zim and I spend my 15, and you've paid merchant fees, like where's the?
Yeah, it's a good question. So if you look at it in a way that we are facilitating the whole process, and our one job is to send customers at the price that they're paying. So the restaurant says, you know what, we'll pay you 15%, bring us new customers. Yes. And we will use our machine learning and intelligence algorithm in our app to incentivize the user, perhaps a lower amount. Not 15%, could be 10%. Yes. At the times that we think they will go. Now, finding that out is very, very hard. You can't just assume. It all relates to data, behavioral data. If someone likes a place, someone likes to go, say, salad only, and a salad bar is paying us 15% to bring someone in, we have ways to say, we're going to pay this person 10% worth of tokens, but still bring the person in, because we know that person's behavioral rich data. So there's the blended margin, the difference between how much the merchants are paying us to use as a loyalty and how much we're actually using for loyalty to bring the customer. That's where the money is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you may charge the merchant for 10%, but the customer gets only 10% as an example.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
And now, so when obviously you guys are doing a great job of bringing cryptocurrency, I guess, to a bigger audience, which is incredible. Do you think that users know they're using cryptocurrency today?
Some do, some don't. Merchants as well. Some do, some don't. But that's the beauty of it. Yeah. The beauty of that is that people use it regardless of whether they know it or not, whether they like it or they dislike it. It means nothing. Because I think the biggest problem with cryptocurrency mainstream adoption is that a lot of these projects have been feeding terms like consensus protocol, consensus algorithm, the protocol, decentralized, immutability. Now the normal users who just want to have a cup of coffee, it's like, whoa. It makes no sense to me. I don't know it. You mention any of those words to the restaurant owner, they're like, just please go away. The thing is, when you start to actually sell, or when you start to educate on the value, the use case, like when say PC and Mac, PC will say, here's a hard drive that can do 5,000 read speed or 10,000 read speed. Mac will just say, it just opens your folder faster. The video of your silly dog transfer to your friend faster. It just works. People want to know that. Whatever the underlying technology is, that's our job. Our job to actually use that to make it better, not to actually educate and try to get people to buy into that. And that's the problem with mainstream. I've been traveling around on conferences, and they come to me, and I've been doing this for like a few years. Come to me and say, "Oh, our project is really good because we have more TPS, higher TPS. We've got amazing consensus algorithm." I'm looking at them and go like, "How many users do you have?" Five crypto enthusiastic. You're never going to take this to mainstream this way. So I think the question that you asked, do you just know? My answer is, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And do you have any plans to support other cryptocurrencies on the platform as well, like Bitcoin or Ethereum with your, because I noticed you have your wallet here as well.
Yeah. It's not showing LVN. Actually, I'm glad that you asked the question. Because again, what we're doing now is building the fundamental architecture, the platform where the other cryptocurrencies can actually make use of our thousands of merchants and hundreds of thousands of users. So if they are struggling to gain that adoption, they can easily partner with us and load up their currency here and access this network that we've built instantly. So we plan to open up our APIs and sometime next year. Okay. And the reason that we want to do it is because truly pioneering the mainstream adoption. Our company Liven is in a very unique position compared to other companies because we already have existing user base. All we need to do is just inject this cryptocurrency blockchain technology to them.
Awesome. That's awesome. Obviously, you're very focused on dining and restaurants and cafes. Do you have any plans to expand past retail?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Dining is just an experiment.
Yes.
With the reason why we chose dining is inherently much more complicated than other parts of the business, other sectors. For example, retail. You go to a shop, you pick an item, that's what you buy. In a restaurant, it's not exactly that. You got to ask, I want cheese. I don't want that. You have to have it fast right now. You got to pay for it straight away. So food is inherently, and it's very emotional as well. And people are attached to it. So it is a place where you can test out your concept. You can try all sorts of different business ideas. And we are starting with the F&B sector first. It in itself is a massive market, $3.5 trillion globally. Yeah. So if we do it well there, and then after that, we're going to take all the learnings and move into retail and other services sectors.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess you're very focused on. You've launched in Melbourne and Sydney.
Yep.
I guess you've launched with a lot of independent retailers. Would you say, or establishments, or more chains jumping on board, or who's sort of the target audience going forward? Where are you trying to expand into?
So last year we had lots of independents. When we started introducing this digital cash loyalty, we realized that a lot of this more sophisticated chains start to understand the value of loyalty. And so the groups like Movida Group, Messina, Gelato Messina.
I love Gelato. Well, it's so good. Yeah. Gelato Messina can be so good.
Actually, they.
Joel, do you like Messina?
I love it so much.
I can't
look at that video.
Well, if you love it right now, it's actually the 4th week of crypto. The Crystal ETH, Big Crumb. They have a special flavor just for Liven. So if you have Liven app, you can have the Liven exclusive flavor.
A Liven exclusive flavor.
Yeah.
And no one else can get it.
No one else can get it.
That's
It's
sick.
called Crystal ETH.
Crystal ETH.
Yeah. Go have some. And it's ending this week, I think.
I'm writing this down.
Only 1 week to go.
Crystal ETH. For everyone out there not in Australia currently, Gelato Messina is probably one of the, I would say, crackiest
the best
ice cream shops. And it's just, it's bonkers. There used to be like iPhone queues out every night for this.
Yeah.
And they just have all sorts of wacky flavors,
Yeah.
And it's incredible that they are using Liven as well, which is again a great tribute to your success as well, William. In terms of getting Liven adopted in the beginning, tell us the story of how you got people on board and got them using the system.
These hands and the doors. They started like that at the start. Somebody's got to do it, Someone in the office knows this term. Somebody's got to do it. It doesn't happen automatically. It's hard slog of work, and perseverance, rejection after rejection. I mean, if you want to start something, you have to be the advocate of that yourself. You can't expect your employer to do it. You can't expect a contractor to do it. You have to do it yourself. So Grace, my sister, and I, we started, and David, co-founder, three of us, at early days, we did all kinds of door knocking and say, look at the vision. And then we're like, what vision? Do you have customers? We got none. So what are you telling us? The vision. The vision of this amazing loyalty platform that we're going to build with your help. So, one of them out of 100 say, okay, we'll give you a go. Two of them say, okay, we'll try you. And that's how we built. Obviously now at scale, we got a lot of inbounds. People are finding out about us and they say, hey, this platform is like some of the hottest Chinese chains like Cocoa Tea, the bubble tea place, Gongcha, the Lanzhou
I
noodle.
love Gongcha.
Lanzhou noodle. Like this is the hottest thing again. There's the Chinese noodle.
Is that, when I was in Korea, I had, there's that beef shop. It'll come to me.
Anyway, it's a Nene chicken, for example. They have 4,000 stores in Korea. They're in Australia. They're on Liven.
I hit way too much fried chicken. I think I almost turned into a fried chicken.
No, it's
amazing.
It's not. Yeah, it's too tasty. You gotta stay away from it though. Yeah. So yeah.
Joel, do you like Korean fried chicken?
Yes, I love it. The show is great today.
So tasty. It's like a tasty. We should put lots of more food on the show. We should have brought in some food.
Yeah, right. If you told me, I would have brought some.
That's a great idea. Tokenomics. Let's talk about Liven token. So how does the Liven token? So you had a token sale. I'm not sure when was the token sale. It was.
So currently we are undergoing a private sale.
Private sale.
Yeah, and the actual public sale we're expecting to open up. Perhaps three weeks from now.
Okay.
Yeah. So how does LVN work? The token itself works. So if you look at it in this way, it's no different from you mining Bitcoin by hash power, running a node. In this instance, we don't want people to run a node or contribute computing power. We want them to eat food. We want them to spend money, join this economy. So what we've done is we've pre-mined 10 billion LVN, and we are selling 3 billion to initial offer, and we're setting aside another 3 billion in a vault that can only be mined by the users who are using this app, using Liven app, and the premises is that we have a reward protocol that actually governs the internal price of the LVN token. Because LVN token it was actually born out of Liven Cash, which has intrinsic value. Okay. So LVN token in our own ecosystem has a intrinsic value at any given moment. That is not the price of exchange or any external price. Our internal price governed by our reward protocol. So
it's because you guys trade that back and forth.
Correct. Right. Correct. So at any time, somebody who has LVN token or who has earned this LVN token by having a meal, night out, they will know exactly how much that is worth and what food they can spend. So it provides insulation from otherwise this crypto volatility from our side. So our goal is gradually expand this, almost avoiding or insulating or this external market volatility. And create this large network globally. Yeah.
And so the people who, like, I guess, if you're a LVN token holder, apart from, using it to buy food, how does the token price, I guess, go up in value?
Yeah, so as I just mentioned, internally, we have a reward protocol internally that is a function of how many tokens is remaining, how many tokens have been mined, right? If more people are mining, then the scarcity model says that we don't have enough LVN token in the vault.
Yeah.
So the reward protocol adjusts the price of the LVN token based on the demand and supply of the LVN within our ecosystem. So as more users are piling on, let's say we expand to London, for example, which we are going to, and we acquire another 1 million users, what are they going to come with? They're all going to come with credit card, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. Each time they spend, their demand, it generates demand for LVN. They're mining that.
Yes.
So what does that mean is that as the mining, the vault volume gets smaller and smaller, the reward protocol actually adjusts the price. Now the key point is that this is not the price that these coins might be traded outside in external market. It's internal price, and it's mathematically governed by the protocol.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so when a token holder, so they go and spend the tokens, and then Liven would buy those tokens because you have the funds to match that.
Yeah.
How do those tokens get burnt? Or
No, they don't. They go back into the vault.
Or back into the vault.
Yes.
Right.
We're not. I mean, burning is. I think burning burning tokens is actually not a clever design. I think it's intentional. It's artificial method to increase token price that is commonly used by other projects. We're not about increasing some tokens that has got no intrinsic value just for the sake of increasing it. That's not what we're doing. We actually have an underlying business that creates value. All we're doing is tying the intrinsic value of the LVN token to the underlying network's value.
Right.
So we're not burning anything. We're just circulating that in ways that are much more value adding.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so those tokens get put back in the vault.
Yeah.
So the supply, I guess it goes down, then it goes back up. And I guess it's about, in some way, it's about how many people have taken tokens out of the vault.
Yep.
So to reduce supply, and therefore it's just, I guess, a function of how many people are
using the app.
Yeah, using the app and using Liven and have a balance.
Correct.
And then is that scaled logarithmically or exponentially or
exponentially?
Okay.
Yes.
Is that all written in the white paper?
In the white paper, there is a mathematical formula, reward curve. Anyone who don't ask me, David is the PhD scientist, so he's designed this algorithm and math formula. Anyone can look at that, put the number into Excel spreadsheet or some formula, and then you can actually decode that. It's fascinating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then with the token itself, is there if I was outside the system, do you think do you see this token as being used for for people to speculate or invest in Liven that way? Like people want to buy on exchange, and is that the kind of, do you think it's going to happen? Like, is that an audience that you're looking for?
That is not the audience at all. No. But we can't rule out that will happen. Right. So for example, Fred, you will go out. You have no interest in trading or anything like that. You'll just have your meal automatically, and you get this cryptocurrency. Yes. You go, oh, I can use this next coffee. Or you can say, hang on, what's this? Oh, it's selling. Somebody who is selling it, maybe because they don't want to have next meal out. Maybe they need cash right now. Yes. But they could sell it in the crypto exchange, and you go like, I'm gonna buy that. Yes. But that is not the usual behavior. So a lot of people who are using this cryptocurrency will be for the purpose of using it within the ecosystem. Yes. Speculators will be there. We can't stop that. Sure. There's no way to block that. If you want to sell your token to Ether Delta, who's to stop that? Right.
Makes sense. Very cool. And I guess you've already got 350,000 users on the platform, 1,000 sites across Australia, which is incredible. I guess how much is sort of processed on a sort of monthly, weekly basis?
So we are currently growing at 20% rate every month. So last 6 months we've been growing quite rapidly, and it's so fast that we are restructuring our business. And so far this year, since we have pivoted to digital currency, we've processed $6 million and annualized $12 million run rate. So we're projecting, and hopefully if all things go to plan, And if our team, amazing team back in Melbourne and Sydney, if they pull through, I think we are on our way to become possibly one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cryptocurrency payment app in the country. Yeah,
it's incredible. You've launched, I guess, with LivenCoin and the switching over. What percentage of people are using LivenCoin to pay versus fiat right now?
It's too early because we've actually officially launched, rebranded to LVN, launched the LVN token 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still early stage, but give us about 3-4 months and we'll have some solid stats around that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are there any sort of incentive to use LivenCoin to pay? Like, can you buy LivenCoin on the app and then use that to pay versus using fiat?
You can. The question was that, is there any incentive to use LVN? The number one incentive would be you earn that for free.
Yeah.
You just had a normal meal. You just have $10 LVN. Why wouldn't you spend it?
Yeah.
Right.
Is it cheaper for the merchants to receive LVN because they wouldn't have to pay you wouldn't have to pay the merchant fees?
Yes, but currently the fees are so negligible. We're talking about, this is the thing, right? All the cryptocurrencies, the basic premise is that the transfer fee, the gas fee, it's 1%, 2%. You don't pay any fee, and therefore it's great. You ask these restaurant merchants, it's like, if we can make 10% extra revenue, who cares about 1% fee? We don't really care.
Because they just want the people through the door.
Through the door.
Yeah.
So it's not like they will actively choose a crypto-based payment because there is no 1%. They would if someone came to them and said, hey, this payment method is actually 15%, wink, wink, Liven, but it brings in so much more customers to you. Everybody will choose that.
Makes sense.
Because it's value adding.
Cool.
Yeah.
And is it currently traded anywhere outside of? Is it an Ethereum-based token?
It is an ERC20, but it's not traded yet. For obvious reasons, we haven't completed the ICO, the public sale yet.
Okay.
So after that, it depends. It might be available, but it itself already has a healthy ecosystem.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I think keen on your sort of zooming out a bit with him in terms of the overall market. What sort of trends are you seeing in the market right now?
I think the trend in the market is that there's a lot of, bloodbath, that's for sure, right? We covered this in the morning about whole bearish sentiment, but I think there's silver lining there. A lot of projects that was the flavor of the month or the year last year have all been on the back of white paper and promises that have not been delivered now. So what's going to happen now is that a lot of those projects are dying. They don't have enough money because they've raised all the money in ETH and they're trying to sell off to fund their projects. And the investors are going like, hang on a minute, it's not what I thought it was. And what they're going to do is, and we've seen this happening already, a lot of emphasis is on the fundamentals, the actual maturing, actual value the business can deliver, the tokenomics that makes sense, that is actually linked to the real life. So I think we are entering this early stage of mainstream adoption, where the fundamental analysis will become much more important than a technical analysis without any substance underneath it. So I think it may not be happening right now because the force is too strong on the speculative side of things, but it's only a matter of time in the next couple of months, I dare say, that when the investors start to realize that, hey, there are companies like Liven who is actually in the making of something that is tangible, substance, that actually creating a value and not just, picking something out of thin air and calling it valuable token. So I think more and more projects like Liven will start to emerge. When that happens, the entire market ecosystem will start to mature and it will bring in a new breed of investors. And the new breed of investors are 10 times, 100 times more money. They've got more money than the current speculators. It's very small. As you know, cryptocurrency, the traders, it's just tiny compared to the real world. Now, the real investors who are focusing on the fundamentals, the VCs, most crypto projects out there will fail the VC test, will fail flat out. They have not met the product market fit. They don't have proof of concept, right? So it's a theory based on technical white paper. So now the investors were the kind of investors that invested in that is a very unique, small subset of the otherwise larger investment ecosystem. So enter 2019, when you start to see these real investment, real people valuing fundamentals pouring in, I'm so optimistic about the entire crypto market. I'm like 100% bullish. In fact, every time it goes down, it just makes me happy because I get to buy them at a cheaper price. So that's my take.
Interesting. Any predictions for 2019?
Prediction for 2019? I think if you're holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's not a prediction, it's real. You get to spend it on food through Liven.
That's cool. Very cool. Now, we ask everyone this question at midnight of this year.
Yep.
2018, it's 31st of December, it's New Year's. It's just clocked over. What do you think the price of Bitcoin in US dollars will be?
Oh, no. This is not a financial advice.
This is not financial advice. No financial advice. Definitely not financial advice.
Yeah, and the advice is given to you in general only?
This
Yeah.
is only an opinion.
If
No predictions. This is just complete speculation. Do not trade on this advice.
If you do it, just do it at your own risk.
At your own risk.
Well, if I'm in the Santa's nice list, I say we'll see it going back up to 12,000
Really?
Australian dollar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right. Moving on. We've got to talk a little bit about CoinDesk's new Crypto Economic Explorer. Now, we were playing around with this before.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we've got a bit of a video, Joel, if you want to spin this up. I'm struggling to use it a bit, but it's got some interesting new stats. Joel, do you want to spin this video?
CoinDesk Crypto Economic Explorer is able to measure the full scope of the crypto market by drawing on all the incentives that drive its growth and utility. This includes data points you know and trust like price and market cap, as well as new indicators such as developer contributions, social engagement, and mining profitability.
Very interesting. So that, I guess they're trying to map out, and maybe I've got to brought it up here. I can't quite get it to work.
That doesn't work for me either.
I'm clearly, I don't know. I think there's supposed to be some dots here and those kind of things, you know, in terms of
the date. You're looking at the you got to change the date back.
Okay, you got to go back in time.
14th. Try that.
Let's go back. All right, let's try this. Back in time.
Now it works. Yeah.
You got it working? Oh man.
Yeah, look at that.
Why am I? Oh, there we go.
No. Are you changing the date there? Have you changed it?
I think I've got this. Yeah, I've gone back to the 11th. Let's bring in like EOS.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Working now.
Ethereum. Here we go. So this is, what's this? Developer is a measure of developer activity. So Bitcoin's pretty up there. Ethereum, EOS, exchange activity, price. Bitcoin just looks like it's dominating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about Ripple? Geez, Ripple. Social. I think Ripple is like the one that socially everyone loves. I don't know why. Its theory makes sense, but what do you think of Ripple, William? What's your view of it?
I'm not a Ripple fan.
Not a Ripple fan.
Let's just say that. Yeah,
Why is that?
Yeah. I think it's just they've done an amazing job with partnerships, but I think they, as a true cryptocurrency enthusiast, I would prefer something like Stellar over Ripple any day. Yeah, I just think that the Ripple is too commercialized, I mean, I've seen things during my days traveling around. I've heard stories, so I'm not going to say it all here, but yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Now, there is a new metric on here, I think, which is interesting, the on-chain transaction volume. So the actual transactions that are happening on-chain. If you reorder the list, you can see Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ripple Then EOS, Litecoin, Zcash, Ethereum Classic. I still don't understand who's using Ethereum Classic, but anyway. Cardano and Dash. Somehow Bitcoin Gold is in there. I don't understand exactly how that is a fact, but that obviously gives a different, slightly different ranking compared to where's the market cap? So you got the market cap here as well. Price, obviously price. Monero is, yeah, harder to, they can't really, I guess, look at those transactions, so. But just an interesting way to look at the actual activity. The mining revenue is interesting as well. So that is the total global revenue earned by blockchain miners per day. This is the revenue combination of rewards earned from validating transactions. That's really interesting. It's a lot. $10 million of revenue is earned per day by miners. It's a lot of money, 4.2. So that's going to continuously get sold back into the ecosystem. And it's amazing that the prices they just stay stable even though things get sold into it.
Yeah, I think it's just, it matches the velocity of new users coming in. If there were no new crypto traders coming in and it was just mining, surely, I mean, the price will go south. But yeah.
You never know. All right, lastly, Ledger has launched a new range of wallets. Do you use a hardware wallet with him?
I do, yeah, I do.
What kind of wallet do you use?
That.
Yeah. You use the Ledger?
Yeah, I do.
Here's the new range, pastels. I like the see-through one. That's kind of cool. I preferably, you know, I don't mind the black. There is, guys, a total comparison of all the different hardware wallets on Finder. Do check it out. You can see all the different coins that are supported and make your own, obviously make your own decision. This is just information, obviously, about that. And it just gives you a high level on what wallets you might want to go ahead and use. All right, guys, do subscribe and do follow us. Click the little bell next to the subscribe button. And thank you so much, William, for joining us from Liven today.
Thank you, Fred.
It's amazing to have you on the show. Final wrap up of prices here. Bitcoin trading at 5,000. The thing is, I've got to say $5,551 because it's US dollars, right? Ethereum 181, Bitcoin Cash at 297. Not sure what the price of Bitcoin Cash is right now. Ripple at 48 cents, EOS at $4.77, Litecoin at $43, Ethereum Classic at $7.80. Wow, that's really down. And Stellar at 24 cents, it's come up a bit. Neo at $13. Wow. And unusually, Tether is trading at 97 cents. It was. I think it hit 95 cents yesterday.
That's not good.
That's an interesting price. That's an interesting price.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's Daily Exchange Day. We'll see you guys next week. Yeah!